My name is Aubrey Hart, and today I'll be walking you through a project I created during my typography course within my graduate program. Specifically, this project focused around environmental design and restaurant branding for a fictional restaurant that we were able to create, and it all really was centered around imagining type in the context of physical space. So we created a variety of assets based on some initial research we did to kind of jog our brains and imaginations about what we might want to create. So for me, I work in the Minneapolis Skyway, which is in downtown Minneapolis, and it's a really large series of interconnected walkways that are great for, when there's bad weather or it gets really cold here in the wintertime, you can still easily go and get lunch and all of that in the Skyway itself. And one thing I've really noticed is that there aren't a ton of easy, healthy options. Everything that's healthy is really expensive, or there aren't that many of them, so they're always really busy. So I wanted to create this kind of fictional, really efficient, easy to order, really just slick experience for Skyway customers. So my idea was for a gourmet baked potato eatery in the Skyway. So once I landed on that idea, kind of knew that that was my concept, I pushed forward with some logo sketching. Just really thinking about what are some fun ways, potatoes is kind of a silly concept. It's something you can have a lot of fun with. So I didn't want it to be too serious. I wanted it to be very welcoming, very whimsical branding, which I think really started to show in the way I played around with sketches and really influenced my final logo mark that I landed on, which I actually created by carving the sketched logo out of a linoleum block and printing it onto paper. And then I did not digitize the logo until after that when I scanned it in and brought everything into Photoshop and then eventually into Illustrator to create a vector version. But I had a lot of fun playing with potato prints and really exploring kind of how much fun and whimsy can you get out of just this really simple vegetable, really. So I did end up with 3 logo versions. We have the vertical, the horizontal, and then the logo bug, just to make sure that the brand would have really easy usage across all media that we might create. And then also just considering how it might look in white, really keeping the color palette simple and natural here. Because I think the brand in its kind of natural textural essence did not need much additional color. So once I created the logo, I got into actually creating the assets that I had earlier sketched out. So for the outdoor signage, I went with this really kind of earthy wood, simple, sort of chalk look where it's a little country, it's a little modern, something to set out in the skyways as a bunch of people are walking by where they'll be able to see, hey, this is Spud Jones, it's a gourmet baked potato eatery, and you can go to the left to eat there. Just making sure it's very clear where to go to get this food. And then building off of that, some of the linoleum prints I created, I used potatoes that I inked up with black ink, and I inked that onto the linoleum block of the logo and printed and got these really beautiful textures. So it's kind of potatoes made from potato texture, bringing that into the outdoor signage and this wooden glass entryway. So people are walking by and visually they can really catch on this really nice, clean, simple, welcoming visual. Another place that I wanted to utilize the linoleum prints was on this behind the counter menu. I wanted to make something that was very clear. You start on the left, you go to the right, just like we read. You can select your type of potato, baked or mash, you pick your toppings, and then if you want a drink, you can pick that, and that's kind of it. Everything's really simple. It's kind of a bowl concept. So you pop into the line, you know what you want, and then you're gone pretty quick, which is ideal for a lot of Skyway customers. And then considering the behind the counter menu, I wanted to create something really visually similar and connected for the handheld menu. Maybe you want to stay a while, maybe you're just kind of walking by and you want to take it a peek at a menu. So similar to the entryway with the wooden kind of trim, and then the outdoor signage with the wood tones and textures. I wanted to bring that into the menu too. So this is a very clean, simple take on kind of a clipboard, but a more natural kind of country style to it, with the leather strap holding the menu down. And then we have a really lovely French paper, just to give, again, that natural feel. And I imagine these being screen printed, just, everything would be very tactile and textural. And then from there, the asset of my choice I created was a storage container food kiosk. I really liked the idea of making this easy to engage with concept, something that doesn't just exist in the Skyway, but can exist in the community as well. And I thought a food kiosk would be a great way to do that. So leaning into kind of the environmentally friendly, earthy feeling of the brand, I thought a repurposed storage container was a really nice tie into the brand essence and kind of whole vibe of what Spud Jones is providing, and kind of trying to say with all of its textures and aesthetics. It's kind of the earth, really respectful of the earth, a brand that sells you vegetables with a lot of care behind that meaning. So I imagine this to be something that could be at the state fair, at local events like Art-A-Whirl, really any local festival for the community to engage in. So thank you so much for letting me walk you through this.